Okay, so this video is going to be for a fellow by the name of Lalo Tora, who is asking some questions about the ZVS driver and what parts you're going to need if you want to build one. Well, I'd say what you're going to need for this driver are some high power MOSFETs. In this case, what most people use are the IRFP 250 MOSFET. You'll need two of them. Or the IRFP 260 or the IRFP 460. And those MOSFETs are all pretty identical, except the 260 and 460 have more power than the 250 and stuff like that. So you're going to need some sort of high power MOSFETs. And you are going to need some Zener diodes to protect the MOSFETs. In my case, most people use 12 volt Zener diodes. And across those diodes, there's also two 10K resistors. Oh, I should also say that these are connected against to the ground, which is the drain of the MOSFETs, and the gate. And also off the gate, there is a 470 ohm resistor right here too. And if you use this driver for something over, say, 50 volts, you're going to need to change these into 1K resistors. And off here, there are some fast switching diodes. These need to be 400 volts or more, and just get fast diodes. I'm not sure what speed these are rated for, but on the packs it'll just say fast diodes. And you're also going to need a capacitor. And this capacitor is very important because all of the power that will go into the flyback is also going to go through the capacitor. And if it's a weak capacitor, it will get really hot. Now, something I did for my capacitors was I put a bunch of them in parallel so that the heat gets spread around and not one capacitor's taking the entire load. And I would recommend that too. And also the microfarads of the capacitor alters the frequency of the driver. So say if you have a 0.68 microfarad, it might oscillate at around 20 kilohertz. And if you have something like 15 microfarad, it might oscillate at around, I don't know, 5 kilohertz. Okay. Now another thing you're going to need is an inductor. I wouldn't waste too much time thinking about this, but what you do is just take a toroid, which you get out of a power supply. I'll be right back and show you an example of a toroid. Okay, here's some examples of the toroids I used. This one's out. These are both out of computer power supplies. I use this one when I'm driving a flyback, and I use this one in series with this one when I'm doing induction heating. You need to have a higher Henrys on these. Higher. I don't know if these are in Henrys or microhenrys, but you need a higher inductance if you're doing induction heating, otherwise the gates won't switch. And that's pretty much all you will need for this driver. Now let me show you mine. Okay, so this is my ZVS driver. I have the two MOSFETs right here. Now for this one, I'm not using IRFP 250s or anything. I'm using two that I got out of a computer power supply. And over here are the resistors and Zener diodes. Here and here are the Zener diodes. Here and here are the 10K resistors. And I think here and here are the 470 ohm resistors. I don't quite remember. But right here and right here are the fast diodes that go to the gates and the collector, and the gates and the drain. I did point-to-point soldering. It only looks messy because I built this 2 or 3 years ago, and these resistors and stuff have been with probably about 6 MOSFETs, 6 different MOSFETs. They've just all burned out. These are my only 2 surviving ones, though. But well, that is pretty much it. I hope that this has helped you, Lalo, Tora, and let me just give you one final shot of that circuit. And that is pretty much it. But of course you'll need the flyback with 5 + 5 turns or more, or less. Just when you first make it, you start out with 5 and you can experiment from there, but this is pretty much it. Thanks for watching.